So you have a really great marketing thing you want to do that you think will help your business. Maybe this thing just came to you, or maybe a friend told you something they're doing that's working. Regardless, you're ready to start jumping in and doing marketing to make great things happen for your business. But you probably won't experience the results you're looking for because, well, turns out successful marketing is actually really hard. It's great that you're eager and willing to invest time and money into marketing, but investing in marketing is a risk. You're trying to influence human behavior to shift other people's money into your hands in exchange for the valuable thing that you do. So don't just start doing the latest marketing tactic you've heard about. I highly recommend before you start investing money in marketing, you clearly understand, at a minimum, these three things. The verifiable problem your customers are willing to pay money to fix, the ideal customer who wants to buy your product or service, and how you can clearly communicate that you're the best option to help these ideal buyers fix their real problem. Spending a little time upfront now will prevent you from wasting a ton of money in the future. I think the magic of the model I'm about to talk is that this foundational approach won't take you 90 to 180 days of time of just planning marketing. If you dedicate some time to this approach, most of you can do strong foundational work in approximately 45 days. So, listen on, and I'll show you how you can get your marketing foundation set up to be successful. Understand without question what keeps your customers up at night. This is by far the most important thing you need to have a handle on. Your business exists first and foremost to help someone solve a problem or pain they have. And I'm sure you think you know what most customers in your market care about. But do you really know? I once worked on a project where we delivered an IT managed services package to a customer in the education space, and this solution was exactly what the customer loved. They raved about it. So consequently, we all thought, surely other school systems want this too, right? So we spent a considerable amount of time and money launching a killer direct marketing campaign with a message that we thought would stick. We had our current customer even provide us with a video testimonial that validated our value. Lots of people complimented us on this outreach, but not a single buyer thought the pain was great enough to spend money on. We used one example to validate our assumptions, but the truth is, one or two or three customers saying the same thing does not constitute a trend. I recommend you get some directional data to help you understand what really keeps your customers up at night. How do you do that? Surveys. There are two approaches you can take here. You can survey a list of your current customers, or you can survey a market panel. For speed and ease, I'd recommend you survey your current customer list. Using a tool like SurveyMonkey or Google Forms, you can quickly create a survey to send to your customer list to help you identify what really keeps them up at night. To verify your assumptions, I'm suggesting you get somewhere around 30 surveys from 30 different companies completed. This is enough data to spot the trends you're looking for. If you don't have 30 customers to survey, you can always survey a panel, but this will cost you some money. Keep your survey short, less than 8 questions. How should you build your surveys to extract this info? Well, every business is different, but I've included a link under this video to a generic example that you can use to inspire your survey. Pro tip, at the end of your survey to your customers, include a Net Promoter Score question. This question allows you to gauge how satisfied your customers are with your business or service. A low Net Promoter Score means that you're not doing a great job, and on the flip side, a high Net Promoter Score means that you're absolutely crushing it and they love you. Don't be concerned that no one will fill this out for you. The majority of people are always looking to help. Reach out and say something like, hey, I'm doing a market survey to understand what our valued customers like you really care about, so we can continue to deliver better service and value to you. Trust me, they'll help you out. Having a clear understanding of exactly what your market cares about, because you now have clear evidence, will help you out tremendously in marketing as you continue to work on your positioning and messaging, two of the most critical elements in marketing. By spending the time to conduct this survey, you now have a strong foundation for which to build the rest of your marketing efforts on. Understand who your ideal buyer is. Many small businesses make the mistake of trying to be everything to everyone, and this approach simply does not support long-term growth. Because think about it, if you're everything to everyone, that means you have to have maximum outreach at all times, and this is mad expensive in marketing for small businesses. Instead, think riches and niches. Think about who your best customer is today. And by customer, I mean at the account level. What makes them your best customer? Think about qualities like they're in the right verticals for us, they're the right size, etc. Okay, so now that you've trotted out the qualities that comprise your best accounts, you want to map that high-level data in what I call a customer intelligence matrix. Because I'm a nice guy, I've made a template for this that you can download with no strings attached. This is part of my larger brand foundation framework, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Now that you've narrowed your best customer and what makes them the best, your goal should be to find clonable accounts. A clonable account is a very strategic prospect that closely resembles the qualities you look for in your best customer. You shouldn't have 1,000+ target company list. You should have a very small and focused ideal buyer list and engage them with personalized account-based marketing. The important thing here is that you don't have to build detailed buyer personas with elaborate backstories, although they are really cool to have. You just need to understand at a strategic level who you should be marketing and selling to, because historically they've been good to you for the reasons that matter. And they have the proven pain points from your surveys. And finally, understand your position in the market. Okay, so far you understand the verifiable problem customers are willing to pay money to fix, and you also understand who you should be spending marketing and sales time targeting and pursuing. The final key thing you need to understand is where you fit in the market, your position in the market. Understanding your position will ultimately help you write a strong positioning statement that formally communicates what you do and why you. But to get there, you first need to understand what your competitors do well and what they don't do so well. When I say know your competition, I'm not asking you to identify 10 or more companies that do what you do and do a big SWOT analysis on them. Here's all you really need to do to understand how you stack up to the competition. Identify the 3 to 5 companies you most compete with or lose business to, and then identify the top 5 to 8 features or services each company has. Then do that same thing for your business. And when you have that information, plot it into what I call a competitive feature matrix, like what you see here. This matrix is nice because it allows you to see from a quick glance the unique and valuable stuff you do and what your competitors do. Having this view helps you create your positioning statement. A little disclaimer, there is no correct example of a brilliant positioning statement. There are many ways to write one. This is just an example of how I think B2B companies can easily understand and adopt and take action on what I think will actually serve you. Also, a positioning statement is typically an in-house tool, meaning it isn't necessarily what you'd write up and slap on a website, on your one-sheets, etc. Although it could be. Typically, the positioning statement helps you craft an elaborate elevator pitch that is way more customer-facing, but perhaps you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Anyway, follow this simple formula to write a kick-ass positioning statement. And here's an example of what Amazon used back in 2001. So remember that brand foundation framework I mentioned earlier in this video? You'll find a link where you can download my template for that below. I've put an example in that template so you can get an idea of how to correctly use it as well. Again, it's just an example. How you'll actually use it may be slightly different dependent on your business. If you don't have a clear understanding of what we just covered, pump the brakes. Your risk of blowing a big investment in marketing is really high right now. Slow down to speed up. The risk you'll be reducing will be well worth the wait. Your marketing will be focused, intentional, and powerful. And those are the 3 critical things you must understand before investing money in marketing. Guys, I hope you learned something valuable today. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments or shoot me an email so we can continue to engage each other. Otherwise, keep crushing it. We'll see you next time.